On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Graphic.
Relating to visual art or involving the use of diagrams or illustrations. Very clear and powerful.
Examples:
Graphic design. A graphic description of an accident. The graphic novel was a masterpiece with stunning illustrations that brought the story to life.
Discretion.
The quality of behaving with caution and good judgment, the ability to keep confidential information confidential, freedom to make responsible decisions based on one's judgment.
Examples:
Dietary discretion. Maintain discretion. It's important to use discretion when sharing sensitive information.
Brand.
A type of product, service, etc., made by a particular company and sold under a specific name, identification mark on the skin of livestock, criminals, etc., made by burning.
Examples:
Create a brand logo. The brand of the new car. There's a new brand of hero in the movies now.
Slave.
A person who is either legally or illegally owned by someone, a person entirely dominated by some influence or a person.
Examples:
A slave of drink. A slave trader. You should work hard but not be a slave to it.
Property.
A thing or things that belong to someone.
Examples:
A man of property. Chemical property. He stood to inherit $1 million property.
Shackle.
A metal ring, bar, or other device used to confine, restrain, or limit freedom of movement, a restraint or impediment of any kind.
Examples:
Shackle chains. Metal shackle. The prisoner wore heavy shackles on his wrists and ankles.
Restraint.
A measure taken to prevent someone or something from acting freely or excessively, self-control or moderation, a physical device used to restrict or limit movement.
Examples:
Physical restraint. Self-restraint. It's important to practice restraint when it comes to spending money.
Lynch.
To put to death or punish, usually by hanging, without legal authorization or due process, often as an act of mob justice or vigilante action. Noun, a violent punishment, often extrajudicial, in which a mob or group of people seize and kill someone, usually by hanging, as a form of punishment or vengeance.
Examples:
Lynch law. Lynch him to death. The mob wanted to lynch the suspect before he could be tried in court.
Depict.
To illustrate someone or something in a photograph.
Examples:
Depict a scene. Depict a feeling of isolation. His son had accurately depicted the bloom.
Massive.
Enormous amount, very heavy and solid.
Examples:
Massive amounts. Massive stars. The recent economic downturn has resulted in massive layoffs.
Attend.
To be present at an event, to go to a place.
Examples:
Attend a meeting. Attend service. We must attend to this matter.
Correspondence.
The letters, emails, etc., especially official or business ones, the quality or state of being the same in amount, number, status.
Examples:
A business correspondence. One-to-one correspondence. The results of the two experiments were in correspondence.
Slavery.
The practice or system of owning, buying, and selling people as property and forcing them to work.
Examples:
Slavery labor. Institution of slavery. The abolition of slavery in the United States was a major achievement in the fight for human rights.
Portray.
To depict or describe someone or something in a painting, film, book, or other artistic work.
Examples:
Portray feelings in words. Accurately portray the condition. We often portray political problems as religious issues.
Criminal.
A person who has committed a crime.
Examples:
Wanted criminal. Criminal investigation. The police are searching for the criminal who stole the jewels.
Capture.
To catch a person or an animal and confine them in an area which they cannot escape.
Examples:
Capture a glimpse. Capture customers' hearts. I was able to capture the moment on film.
Imaginary.
Existing only in someone's mind.
Examples:
Imaginary number. Imaginary pregnancy. Little children tend to have imaginary friends.
Rally.
A public meeting of a group of people intended to arouse enthusiasm.
Examples:
Rally in front of the embassy. The preliminary rally. There was a massive police presence at the anti-government rally.
Occasionally.
Now and then, sometimes but not often.
Examples:
Occasionally dine with friends. Occasionally change the routine. She still occasionally writes a short romance novel.
Imagery.
The use of words or pictures in books, photographs, paintings, etc., that produces pictures in the minds of people, the ability to form mental images of things or events.
Examples:
visual imagery, satellite imagery. This movie is famous for its romantic imagery.
Distinct.
Noticeable from something else of a similar type.
Examples:
distinct difference, distinct from each other. It is essential to keep these two issues distinct.
Artifact.
A person-made object, especially one of historical or cultural interest.
Examples:
Paleolithic artifacts, Peruvian artifacts. The museum has a vast collection of Greek artifacts.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
decide a question, decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
a tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Kent.
A colorful and intricately patterned fabric originating in Ghana, traditionally worn in a variety of ceremonial and formal contexts.
Examples:
Kent weaving. Traditional Kent. The Kent cloth worn by African royalty is made of vibrant, colorful strips of fabric.
Camouflage.
An outward appearance that conceals the underlying essence of something, the way of concealing troops or military equipment so they cannot be seen against the surrounding environment.
Examples:
camouflage clothing. Work as camouflage. They utilized branches of trees as camouflage.
Spandex.
A stretchy synthetic fiber that can be woven into fabric and used in tight-fitting garments such as exercise clothing or underwear.
Examples:
spandex leggings, spandex gym clothes. The yoga pants were made of spandex, allowing for easy movement during exercise.
Burlap.
A rough, woven fabric made from jute, hemp, or other fibers, often used for making sacks.
Examples:
burlap table runner, burlap ribbon. The farmer used burlap sacks to transport his vegetables to the market.
Silk.
A fine, strong, soft, lustrous fiber produced by silkworms in making cocoons and collected to make thread and fabric.
Examples:
Silk road, silk fabric. She wore a silk dress to the party.
Satin.
A smooth fabric made of silk or synthetic fibers and characterized by a glossy or lustrous surface and a dull back.
Examples:
Black satin, satin sheets. She wore a beautiful satin dress to the party.
Toddler.
A young child who has recently learned to walk.
Examples:
An active toddler. Toddler in nappy. A toddler needs constant supervision and firm control.
Infant.
A baby or very young child.
Examples:
Infant daughter. Infant food. Mozart was an infant prodigy.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy. Foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Segregate.
To separate or set apart from others, often based on race, gender, or some other characteristic.
Examples:
Segregate by race. Segregate boys and girls. The school board decided to segregate students by the ability to meet their needs better.
Hood.
A covering for the head and neck, especially one attached to a garment.
Examples:
Hood ornament. A silk hood. He pulled his waterproof hood up to protect himself from the rain.
Residue.
A substance that remains after a process or reaction, a remnant of something that once existed.
Examples:
Residue after evaporation. Chemical residue. There was a residue of soap in the bottle that wouldn't come out.
Systemic.
Affecting or related to the whole of something, especially the human body or a society.
Examples:
The systemic arteries. Systemic reforms of the organization. This vaccine causes mild systemic side effects.
Racism.
Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people based on their membership in a particular ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
Examples:
Systemic racism. Research on anti-racism. The school's lack of diversity was a clear indication of the racism present in the community.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Intentionally.
In a planned or intended way.
Examples:
She hit him intentionally. She intentionally spread misleading information. She would never intentionally hurt anyone.
Voter.
A person who votes or has a legal right to vote in a political election.
Examples:
An eligible voter. Voter apathy. The election administration nullified the election results because of voter fraud.
Suppression.
The act of stopping or preventing something from being expressed or revealed.
Examples:
The suppression of bandits. Suppression of estrogen. The government imposed a suppression of freedom of speech.
Disproportionate.
Too large or too small when compared with something else, or not deserving its importance or influence.
Examples:
Cause disproportionate damage. Disproportionate amount. This big gate is disproportionate to the small hut.
Representation.
The act of speaking, acting, or being present on behalf of someone officially, a statement of facts and reasons made in appealing or protesting.
Examples:
Sales representation. Binary representation. A person who has been declared incompetent should have legal representation.
Incarcerate.
To put or keep somebody in prison or in a place from which they cannot escape.
Examples:
Incarcerate the murderer. Incarcerate her for life. He was incarcerated for the duration of the war.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Brutality.
The quality or state of being cruel or savage.
Examples:
Military brutality. Brutality against civilians. The protesters were outraged by the police brutality they witnessed at the demonstration.
Aspect.
One part or feature of a situation, problem, subject, etc.
Examples:
Non-technical aspects of the job. Aspects of social, political, and economic life. His professional experience includes all aspects of media production.
Discriminate.
To treat a person or particular group of people worse or better than another, especially in an unfair way, to recognize or perceive the difference between people or things.
Examples:
Discriminate against women employees. Discriminate between different things. You should not discriminate against minorities.
Blend.
To mix or combine two or more substances.
Examples:
Blend all the elements. Blend milk and cream. The toad altered its appearance to better blend in with its new environments.
Illustrate.
To provide pictures, photographs, diagrams, etc. in a book or something for explanation.
Examples:
Illustrate a key point. Illustrate a story. The company's financial records illustrate how successful it has been.
Capitalism.
An economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit.
Examples:
Advance capitalism. Under the umbrella of capitalism. Capitalism also guarantees intellectual property rights and thus promotes innovation.
Grand.
Important and large in size, scope, or extent.
Examples:
A grand meal. Grand this year.
Wizard.
A person who is skilled in magic or a particular technical field.
Examples:
A wizard at chess. Financial wizard. He was a wizard at solving complex mathematical equations.
Confederate.
A person who is allied or associated with another person or group, especially in a political or military context, a supporter of the Confederate States of America.
Examples:
Confederate soldier. Confederate government. The two countries are confederates and have a strong alliance.
Millionaire.
A person who has material wealth that is valued at more than $1 million, pounds, euros, etc.
Examples:
Millionaire capitalist. Become a millionaire. The internet millionaire was captivated by the artist's paintings.
Wealth.
A large amount of money, property, or other things that someone or an organization owns.
Examples:
Majority of his wealth. Material wealth. The wealth inequality was unavoidable.
Chattel.
Personal property, especially that which is movable and not fixed to land.
Examples:
Chattel mortgage. Personal property chattels. The enslaved people were treated as chattel and had no rights or freedoms.
Boggle.
To be overwhelmed or surprised by something, to hesitate or be uncertain about something, to cause someone to feel overwhelmed or surprised.
Examples:
Boggle the imagination. Boggle at the price. The complexity of the situation can boggle the mind.
Cotton.
A plant that is grown in warm countries and bears bolls containing seeds with soft and long hairs that are made into textile fiber and thread for sewing.
Examples:
Cotton cloth. Culture of cotton. The price of raw cotton continued to rise.
Crop.
A plant that is cultivated in large amounts, particularly for food.
Examples:
Crop field. Crop herbicide. Sow early for an early crop.
Indigo.
A deep blue or purple blue color, also, the plant that yields indigo dye.
Examples:
Indigo fabric. Indigo plant. The indigo dye made the fabric a beautiful shade of blue.
Tobacco.
A plant grown for its leaves, which are dried and processed for smoking or chewing or extraction of nicotine.
Examples:
Tobacco industry. A mild tobacco. Tobacco product is a leading cause of preventable deaths worldwide.
Epiphany.
A moment of sudden and great realization or revelation, a Christian festival, held on January 6th, celebrating the visit of the three wise men to the infant Jesus.
Examples:
Epiphany about life. Feast of Epiphany. She had an epiphany while meditating and realized the answer to her problem.
Supremacy.
The state, condition, or position of being superior to all others in authority, power, or status.
Examples:
A race for supremacy. Supremacy of a country. The empire's military power ensured its supremacy over the neighboring states.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Acknowledge.
To accept or admit the existence, reality, or truth of something. To accept that someone or something has a particular authority or quality. To express obligation, thanks, or gratitude for someone's help, commitment, etc.
Examples:
Acknowledge the deed. Acknowledge his help. He never acknowledged his fault.
Sow.
To plant or scatter seed, especially in the ground, to establish or set in motion.
Examples:
Sow a seed of doubt. Sow a lot of confusion. The farmer sowed the seeds in the field, hoping for a good harvest.
Fabric.
Cloth or other material produced by weaving wool, cotton, silk, etc., used for making clothes, covering furniture, etc.
Examples:
A hand-loomed fabric. Fabric of creation. These synthetic fabrics are used in military vests because of their excellent abrasion resistance.
Intentional.
Done, made, or performed with purpose and intent.
Examples:
intentional destruction of evidence, an intentional walk. The law distinguishes between accidental and intentional killing.
Segregation.
The act or process of separating or isolating people, things, or groups based on race, gender, religion, social class, or other characteristics, a political or social system that enforces such separation or isolation.
Examples:
racial segregation, segregation of power. Segregation based on race or ethnicity is illegal and unjust.
Confront.
To face, meet, or deal with a problem or difficult situation or person.
Examples:
confront of global warming, confront the issue. He finally decided to confront problems directly.
Dismantle.
To take apart or demolish a structure, machine, system, or the like, to strip off fittings or equipment.
Examples:
dismantle a machine, dismantle a system. The old building had to be dismantled because it was structurally unsound.
Ugly.
Unattractive in appearance, unpleasant to look at.
Examples:
an ugly sound, ugly building. The ugly truth was that he had been lying to her for months.